today. Okay, so the final four, this is an example of each of the artists. Okay, so the four artists, you're going to go in a second behind the screen. You're going to sit back there. Now, it's no mystery who's back there. Usually we would know that. Okay, but it's turned out to be kind of a fun little element. Number one, you don't get to see the looks on our faces, and we don't get to see looks on yours as we pose questions to you. Now, I've got my man who's going to sit up here. That would be Chris. I need a female who's going to ask the questions. Anybody? Come on. You can do it, Alex? Okay. Alex, you're going to be right up here. Okay. What you guys will do is you're going to be reaching into, without a t-shirt, into these pots, and the ones that are written by this hour and previous hours, you've got a whole pot of questions to ask. Okay? And what you can do, what I'm going to have you guys do right now is write 2 really interesting questions you might ask if someone wanted to go out with you and you wanted to kind of screen them and make sure they're right for you. So a good question might be, we're going to go to my place and watch a Netflix show. What show would you show me? Or one of them was, it's the end of the date. What's the most memorable thing about the date we had? What would you do? Or if you're going to take me to a fancy restaurant, what kind of food or whatever. I mean, it can get, some of these questions get really creative. They keep it north of appropriate, right? Okay, I'm looking at Chris. That's why I got you right there. Okay. And what we're going to do is the first 2 rounds, one question will be asked, the same question to all 4 candidates, and then we're going to start individualizing it. Okay. So Alex and Chris, when you're up here, you're going to be pulling one, and you'll ask them all. You can randomly pull it, you can select it. But when it's not your turn, when let's say Chris is asking Alex, you're going to be kind of scanning and picking out the 4 you like to hit them with the next 4. Does that make sense? Judges, you're going to divide your judging page into 4 columns. Okay? So we got bachelor number 1 is going to be Ramiro, bachelor number 1. Okay? Bachelor number 2 is going to be Allie, bachelorette number 2. Bachelorette number 3 is Anna, and bachelor number 4 is Calvin. Okay? Anna, am I saying that wrong? You can call me, I don't know.
Oh wait, you actually
Hendershort or something like that. What's it? Well, beginning of the year I had it, and then I drifted away. Throw something at me.
Okay.
It's okay.
Is this actually an audition?
Yeah, for a big reality TV show. Yes, exactly. So,
Second job.
I should have shaved. She's got to find that extra income. All right, so when you got those 2 questions, bring them up and drop 1 in here and drop 1 right in here. Okay? You got 1 minute.
So we're reading questions.
You guys vote. All of them will vote too, but they're voting for literally when you say,
I don't know this.
And that's the power you wield. Okay? All right. So, and then once you've got your prompts, get out a sheet of paper, divide it into 4 columns, and put the bachelors at the top, and put your name at the top, because I want to know what you had to say. Yeah, on everything. Anything you turn in, it's going to be your name on it. The prompts, and on your judging sheet. Okay? Yeah. No, you don't have to ask any questions because you're, No. Okay, so come on over 4 candidates. Let's have Anna, let's have Calvin, let's have Allie, let's have Ramiro. Come on over. Okay, so they're going to be answering not as themselves, but as their art, if their art were a person. So when you say what kind of food would you prepare, he's got to look at the aesthetics and the technique and all that of his art and kind of imagine a food, imagine an experience. Okay. So you are your art, or your artist. You can answer, if you know anything about their biography and you think that might be useful, but otherwise you're answering so that the judges are going to listen to your answers and see who connects to their art the best.
Okay.
Okay? So why don't you guys take your spots in the back, behind the sheet there. Let's give them a round of applause. Want to take your spot right up here? Right up here, my friend. You teacher there. Good? All right, and we got all questions in. there, my friend. It's light on his feet. Okay, you need to bring your prompts and put them up in each pot right now, okay? Just go do that. Bring them on us, pop them in there. And Alex has that choice. I'm imagining yours are going to be pretty.
No, not today.
No, you're not feeling it today. Oh, come on, Jensen. I need you. I need you now.
Jesse, we're relying on you.
That's right. At the end of the day, I'm like, well, at least Jensen will have something. Okay. All right, so, Candace, you want to grab, you want to reach in there and kind of find one that you like? Grab one you like. You can do it random if you want, or you can pick one. All right, so one more time. Today, there will be 2 winners that go on to tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is going to actually be a glazing day, a day to tidy things up, sign any stuff that needs to be fired. But for the 2 winners, you're going to have a little in-class time. Hold on with that stool, okay? Yeah. So you're going to have a full hour to design your final still life, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the hour. Because where we're going from here, I'll talk about it now. Where we're going from here is one of these, or one of those 4 behind the screen, or 2 of them, are going to design a still life, and then we're going to vote on which one's best, and then on Friday and Monday, as a class, we're going to build whatever they came up with, and go into the final 4 competition. You guys ready back there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Bachelor 1, right? So which one's one? 1, 2. Okay, there should be one. Perfect. Okay. Alex, would you like to go first? Just one right now. Just one at a time. And then when it's his turn, you can be picking the next one. Okay? Okay, here we go.
Well, I really have to so.
You're not ready, or are you ready?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. First question.
If you were to ask someone out, how would you do it?
Are they answering?
No.
Yes, someone. That's a question to you. If you were to ask someone out, how would you do it?
I would, so first I'll look at, like when I first see them, I'll look at one of their body parts, most likely their hand, and then I'll sculpt their hand, and then in that hand I would write, do you want to go out, and then give it to them.
Okay, bachelor number 2. Bachelor license.
For mine, since the piece on the screen you can see is soft, I would go for a softer approach. Maybe buy them some flowers and put a little note in it.
My sculpture has some really interesting bright colors, so I might get them something bright that they could remember me by, and something that would just leave a good impression on them.
Number 4, my artist would, he's very natural, so we'd be going into the woods for like a very, very kind of like not a superficial type thing, more of like a deeper meaning and kind of just a natural, less, I guess, city-oriented date.
Okay. Next question.
If we're in a date in the woods, what is the setting like?
It would be sunny. It would be a nice day, not raining or cloudy. Yeah.
I would actually go for the opposite, and I would say something like tall redwoods, very mossy, nice and calm, lots of birds chirping, good ambient noises.
Mine would probably be in a clearing at sunset, just really calm. Yeah.
Mine would be like a late afternoon, rained the day before, so it's kind of like very fresh rain smell. There's a stream nearby, and it's just kind of a peaceful environment.
So bachelors and bachelorettes, make sure when on the next round here, link it to your art. What does it have to do with, you know, you can make these choices, but we need to understand why that's your choice. Okay? Okay, you ready? Alex, you're up.
What is your perception of beauty?
My perception of beauty is anything. I sculpt a bunch of faces of anyone. I think they're all unique and beautiful in their own way.
For my art, I would say beauty is imperfections, because handcrafted art is very delicate work and it takes a lot of time, and the imperfections can be very important to the message that comes across.
I'd say beauty is embodiment, confidence, and just being yourself. I don't know. Just being how my artist shows how strong you can be through her art. I would say that's how beauty is, just showing your true colors.
I would say beauty is bringing multiple things to kind of create multiple things that like to bring multiple things that aren't something to make a new piece, such as like bringing the element of nature into something that's man-made, kind of bringing in ideas and something into something, like bringing ideas into a piece or some work of art that is not that idea.
Okay.
Have you ever been arrested?
And if so, for what?
Yeah.
I have not been arrested.
I have not been arrested.
I've been arrested for vandalism.
I've not been arrested because I am all about peace and kind of being one with a natural element, not kind of anything too violent.
So what we're going to do is now at this point they're going to pick 4 different prompts, 1 prompt for each one of you, and she'll address. You can go in order 1 through 4. You can hop around 3 and 1 and 4. Okay. And so Alex, when you're ready, you can ask your first prompt to your first candidate, and then you can continue to pick out the other prompts you want. Alex, you want to go ahead? Why don't you go ahead and ask your first prompt? Okay.
Okay. Bachelorette number 3. What are 3 things that you could never leave home without?
I could never leave home without, probably just, started off with some gum. Could never leave home without that. I could never leave home without just things that improve my day, like just the little things that I just always need. And then probably I could never leave home without plans on what to do.
So let's be specific. What are the little things that you need? Being Christina Tufino's art, what do you need, Christina?
I need color.
Yeah.
I need color. I need texture. I need a visual. And I need a plan. And I need a perception.
So what objects are those that capture those things? What's colorful that you take with you?
I need paint, glazes. Okay. And then I need probably a sketchbook and maybe an agenda just to track down what I'm going to do about the things I'm using.
Okay. Next question. Chris, you want to throw one out there? And you want to target your individual?
Sure. 3?
No, it's 2.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, artist number 2. What is your type?
I would say my type would be
What are you looking for? Alan?
in art. Yeah.
If your art was a person, what type of person would it be looking for?
Well, I would say my artist is very diverse because they can do multiple, their vessels aren't always the same. Like the one you see on the screen, we have soft outlinings and there's a lot of movement in it. However, you can see on multiple of his websites and portfolios, he does a lot of geometric shapes that are kind of strong and like forward spoken almost. But they're all always very clean and subtle in color. They'll have golden accents and just white, clean bases.
Okay, Alex, what you got? Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, you wanted to ask a couple more. So pose another question to another candidate.
Okay, artist number 1. If our first date was terrible, would you give me another shot?
Yes, I would give it another shot. Let's say the first one you were just shy, you weren't comfortable with the you weren't comfortable, you felt yeah. And then the second time you feel more comfortable. I would obviously be staring at your face a lot, noticing your features and seeing if any of those can relate to a sculpture I can make. I would be interesting and if you are more open to on the second date to maybe yeah.
Well, remember real quick, what would a nightmare date be for you?
Oh, nightmare date.
Now, if the first one went poor, let's imagine it was a nightmare. What would a nightmare date for you look like?
They're completely hiding themselves. They don't want to be seen. They feel like they're not. They feel like they're not beautiful their own way. They're not open to like to sculpting, to like working with clay, and they're yeah.
Okay. One more question, Chris.
Artist number 4. If I'm sick in bed, can't do much, what would you do to make me feel better?
You were sick in bed and maybe not having a great day, I would kind of remind you of what you enjoy in life, kind of keep you up to date on what's going on outside so that you don't feel super isolated. I would also give you kind of the perspective of, you know, some days will be good, some days will be bad, and you just kind of have to take life as it goes. And just kind of remind you that, you know, you'll pull through eventually and you can go back to doing what you love.
Why would that artist do that?
Because my artist kind of lives through nature and lives through a natural lifestyle where you kind of go and take things as they come, like nature does. You know, sometimes it's a bad day, it's raining, it's stormy, it's just maybe there's a wildfire, I don't know. And then some days it'll be a sunny day, you'll be having a great time. And, you know, you just have to kind of take the good with the bad, take the bad with the good.
Bachelorette number 2. What is your ideal first date?
My ideal first date would be learning new things about somebody's first art experience. I would want them to tell me how they got into art what their favorite techniques are and how they want to improve themselves from that.
Why is that what you would want? Why is that your answer?
Because learning from where somebody comes from in art and their basis of their knowledge from art is very important to where it will bring them in their future.
Bachelor number 4. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
I would be an elk. Because I kind of, as an artist, I'm an innovator. I'm kind of at the top of like the threshold in the ceramic world. As the elk is kind of a more dominant species in the animal world, and I kind of live a lifestyle of peace, but also kind of violence against kind of opposing views. Like I am a kind of an innovator. I brought ceramics to the forefront of the world, and as an elk, I kind of live a peaceful life. I'm not a carnivore, but I also will challenge other elk to become kind of the supreme being of that animal world that I live in.
Bachelor number 1, where would we go on vacation for a good time?
We would go to an open spot with a lot of, let's say, not a lot of people around, not a lot of home. It's isolated, but not that isolated. There'd be a lot of nature, there'd be a lot of trees where we can go out for walks and enjoy the view. And it'd be more of an open, isolated space.
Chris, you know, a couple more here.
Artist number 3. Where would your ideal honeymoon be?
My ideal honeymoon would probably be where my artist is from, Puerto Rico, and I would take my significant other around, show them how I grew up, show them how I got into the art I'm making, and show them all my inspirations in there, and just teach them why I do what I do.
Okay, bachelor number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you to tell me what's wrong with the other 3. Okay, why are they so not the right choice for lovely Chris and lovely Alex out here? And let's start with bachelor number 4. We'll start off with you.
All right, you should pick bachelor number 4 and not any of the other artists, because the other artists can be extremely superficial. My artist lives through nature and lives through kind of creating a new life and kind of being a pioneer in the world. So my artist will not only be willing to kind of push the boundaries of life and kind of try new things, but also kind of be able to ground themselves and stay grounded and live kind of a natural life where you don't really have many worries.
And I want you to get specific. I want you to take apart each artist. What's wrong with each one of these artists?
Each one?
Yeah.
All right. I'll start with bachelor number 1. What's wrong is their life is they are too detailed. They're overly excessively kind of looking into everything too much. They worry about the little things too much. They don't kind of take life as it goes. They just are way too excessive and kind of over the top with everything. Bachelorette number 2. My artist is better and a better choice because they're better at taking on kind of adversity. They take challenges as they come, are better at taking ebbs and flows in life and nature and kind of being a pioneer. Artist number 3, you should pick my artist over number 3 because my artist is better at being grounded and kind of living a natural life, as well as just not kind of over exaggerating on kind of minor things.
So the pictures that I have up there, because I picked them from the list of 3, we've got the wooden face with the apple, we got the stone series, we have the hyperextended pink and green grab the ankles kind of thing, the one that looks like this, right? And yours was a flattened vase with no leaves on it. Okay?
And I have one more thing.
Okay, rock on.
And then artist number, or the second bachelorette, another reason that mine would be better is because their art is extremely simple, and mine would just kind of add more detail and excitement, I guess, to your life.
All right, Anna, let her rip. What do you got?
Alrighty. Bachelor number 1. Your art is intricate, but it's not that interesting. I mean, obviously, a lot of different artists have really intricate pieces, and it might speak from the soul, but it's pretty much just the same as every other intricate piece I've ever seen. A wooden face, wow, original. Anyway, Bachelorette number 2. Stones are cool, but I mean, it doesn't take a lot of effort or skill to make a bunch of stones. Bachelor number 4, your artist seems way too down to earth. Like, everything should just roll with the punches. Sometimes there are things that in your art, it gets messed up and you have to know how to adapt to it. And I mean, if you're just so down to earth, then it'll just be like, oh, okay, it's messed up, whatever, that's what I'm going for. I don't know, I feel like you guys need to learn from my artist, because my artist has captivating colors and textures and meanings, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
All right. So, bachelor number 1. I believe your artist is a little weak in I feel the details are a little too overboard. A hyper-realistic face with hyper-realistic texture is a little too much for the eye to be concentrating on, and it could benefit from only one. And bachelorette number 2, I believe your colors pop too much and it makes it a little childish as to which facial expressions you can focus on. And bachelor number 4, I also think you talk about nature a lot, a little too much. Every sentence has something about nature, and you do seem a little too grounded. Maybe you can talk a little bit something else about maybe not nature. Maybe something about the details in the piece, the flow of it, the shapes.
Nature flow.
The nature flow. Yeah.
Bachelor number 2, you're too simple, and I think the person would get bored after a while. Bachelor number 3, you do weird poses. If you they wouldn't want to be like that. And bachelor number 4, you're just too full of yourself. You get it. You do nature.
Oh, yes, preach.
So that's why you should go.
All right, so